Who gets the house and who gets the dog? These are some of the biggest fights in divorce, but I'm going to tell you something most people don't realize, friend. They're not the most important decisions you will make. Hey there, Joy Seeker. Welcome back to Find the Joy with Jen. Let's talk about something that comes up in almost every single divorce conversation. Who stays in the house? Who gets to keep the family pet? Who takes the furniture? Who gets what? And how do we even decide these things? These questions feel huge, heavy, sometimes even overwhelming. And I get it because these decisions aren't just about the stuff. They're about stability. They're about the memories. They're about your identity. They're about fear. And if you're in the middle of divorce right now, these decisions can feel like everything. But today, I want to help you zoom out for just a minute, my friend, because while these decisions matter, they are not the most important things you will decide in your divorce journey. Not even close. But before we jump in, if you're going through divorce or trying to figure out your next steps, make sure you subscribe to this channel. I share real practical guidance to help you move through this with more clarity, faith, and confidence, not just survive it. And I also want to tell you about something new I'm really excited about. I have launched my Find the Joy app, which you can access through my website at findthejoywithjen.com. Inside the app, you will find exclusive content, discounts on courses and programs, and daily inspirational messages to help you stay grounded during this difficult season. And one of my favorite features that you can only find in the Find the Joy app, you can actually submit a question about your divorce situation, and I will personally respond to help guide you through it. So make sure you download your app today. So let's start with the reality. When you're going through a divorce, there are practical things that have to be worked out. The living arrangements, the finances, the custody, the assets, and yes, even the pets. These are not optional conversations. They have to happen. And for a lot of people, this is where things get really tense fast because emotions are high. There's history. There may be hurt, betrayal, and resentment. And suddenly, a conversation about the house turns into a battle about worth, respect, finances, and control. So, if that's where you are right now, I want you to hear me clearly. You are not crazy for feeling the weight of these serious decisions, but I also want to help you approach them differently today. Let's talk about the house. The house is one of the biggest emotional anchors in a marriage and a family. It's where life happened. It's where memories live, and it's where your kids feel safe. So, of course, the question of who stays feels huge. But here's what I want you to consider. This is not just an emotional decision, it's a practical one. Ask yourself, can I realistically afford this home on my own? Not just the mortgage, but the maintenance, the taxes, the unexpected repairs. Is staying here going to bring peace or keep me emotionally stuck? Is this what is best for my children long term? Or just what feels familiar right now? Because sometimes the house represents comfort, but it can also represent being unable to move forward. And I've seen people fight so hard just to keep the house, only to end up feeling burdened, overwhelmed, and financially strained later. Sometimes the most emotionally difficult decision is actually the healthiest one. What about the family pet? Let's talk about it because, yes, this one gets real fast. Pets are family, their comfort, their companionship, and their stability in a season where everything feels unstable. And for your kids, especially, that dog might be the one thing that doesn't change when everything else does. So, when it comes to deciding who keeps the dog, I want you to think about who has the time and capacity to care for them well? Whose living situation actually supports having a pet? What is the least disruptive for the children? And here's something important. This is not about winning. It is about stewardship. It's about what's actually best for the pet and for your family dynamic as a whole. Sometimes that means one person keeps the family pet. Sometimes that means you get creative and you share your time with the pet as well as the children. But what we don't want is to turn the dog into a bargaining chip. Because when everything becomes a tool of negotiation, we lose sight of what really matters. That brings up another question. How do you even reach an agreement? This is where a lot of people stay stuck because you might be thinking, Jen, all of that sounds great, but we can't agree on anything. And I hear that. I really do. So let me give you a few practical principles that can help you if this is where you are right now. First, decide who you want to be in this process. Before you decide who gets what, decide who you are going to be. Are you going to be reactive or intentional? Are you going to be driven by fear or guided by your faith? Because your identity in this process will shape every decision that you make. Second, focus on outcomes, not objects. So instead of arguing over the house or the couch or even the dog, ask what outcomes are we trying to create here? Stability for the children, financial stability, peace between co parents. When you shift that conversation from objects to outcomes, it will change everything, my friend. Third, be willing to give where it doesn't cost you your peace. Not everything is worth a fight. I have seen people spend thousands and thousands of dollars on legal fees fighting over things they didn't even want 6 months later. So ask yourself, is this something I truly need or something I just want to have? There is a difference. And fourth, get support. You do not have to navigate this divorce journey alone. This is exactly why I do what I do, because when you're in the middle of it, it's hard to see things clearly. Having someone help you through this process of making decisions, staying grounded, and moving forward intentionally can change everything. Now, let's talk about what actually matters most, because this is the part I really want you to hear. The house matters, and the dog definitely matters, and logistics matter, but they are not the most important decisions you will make in this process. Not even close. The most important decision you will make in this process are these. First, will you stay faithful to God? This is where everything starts because divorce shakes your faith. You might feel abandoned, confused, angry, questioning everything. And in those moments, it's natural, it's easy to drift, to disconnect, to rely on your own understanding. But this is a critical time, the most important time to lean into your faith, to pray harder, to pray even when you don't feel like it, to turn to God even when you don't have answers, because God sees the full picture. He knows what's ahead for you, and He can guide you in ways that no one else can. Second, be the best parent you can be. Your kids are watching you, my friend, not just listening to what you say, but how you handle this whole process, how you speak about their other parent, how you show up emotionally, how you navigate hard conversations, and it is shaping them. I know this is not easy, but one of the greatest gifts you can give your children is showing them what it looks like to walk through something incredibly hard with integrity, with love, with restraint, and with faith. Third, will you grow better in this process or will you just survive it? You can survive divorce. You can come out on the other side bitter, closed off, guarded, hurt, or you can grow through divorce. You can grow stronger, wiser, more grounded, and more connected to God. But that doesn't happen automatically. It happens intentionally. It happens when you choose to learn in this process instead of just trying to get through it. Here's the truth that most people don't talk about. How you handle your divorce will have a generational impact on your family. Your kids are learning what love looks like, what conflict looks like, and what healing looks like. They are forming beliefs they will carry into their own relationships one day. So, this isn't just about you, my friend. This is about the legacy you are creating. And I don't say that to put pressure on you. I say that to remind you of your power. Because even in the middle of something so painful, you have the ability to choose a better path. So let me bring this all together here. Yes, you are going to have to make decisions about the house, the dog, the finances, and all the logistics. But don't lose sight of this. Those decisions are temporary. Who you become in this process, that lasts. If you're in the middle of these decisions right now, take a deep breath. You don't have to figure everything out all at once, but you do get to decide how you move forward with intention, with faith, with support. And if you need help navigating this, that is exactly what I'm here for. Inside my Faith-Filled Divorce Coaching Program, I walk you through these decisions step by step, helping you stay grounded, connected to God, and moving forward in a way that brings peace, not more chaos, because you don't have to do this alone. Joy seekers, you're not just dividing a life, you're being invited to rebuild a life. And if you do this with God, with intention, and with the right support, there is so much growth, healing, and joy waiting on the other side of this for you. And I am here to help you find it. Remember, as you put your faith and trust in God and trust that His plans for your life are far better than anything you can imagine, you will see miracles, my friend. And if you haven't seen those miracles yet, do not give up because God is not finished in your life yet. Before you go, I would love to hear from you. What has been the hardest decision you've had to make in your divorce journey so far? Drop it in the comments because I read every single one. And it also helps other people realize they're not alone. And if this episode has helped you, make sure you like it and share it with someone else who might need it. And remember, you can find more support through the Find the Joy app available on my website at findthejoywithjen.com. Inside the app, you will get daily inspiration, exclusive content, discounts on my programs, and the opportunity to submit your own question so I can personally help guide you through your divorce journey. Thank you for being here, Joy Seekers. It is possible to find joy in your journey, my friend, and I can help you find it. Bye, y'all.